Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Untamed with Chris O and Super Frankie. Thank you for listening. We're on everywhere you find your podcast. Obviously the big ones, Spotify, Apple, just wherever you get your podcast, you should be able to listen to us. Tell your friends. We have some really, really cool guests. You can go back and listen to all our shows when you go on our channels. Like seriously, we have some of the coolest people. And speaking of some of the coolest people, we have Julia Montesano today joining us. She's one of the coolest people. Frankie and I both known Julia for maybe we're not going to say how long, but a long
Don't say
time.
it. A long time. Yeah, many years.
So Julia's on here because we want to talk about real estate. That's one of our topics. Every week we try and do a different topic when we can. Um,
Julia, first of all, who are you with?
I am with Royal LePage Real Estate Services in Etobicoke. I'm on the Paul Nuska team. So we are one of the biggest teams in Etobicoke and very proud to be on this team.
Sorry, Chris. You can continue. By the way, I'm here a little late. These two were talking about the city and the snowbanks and the roads. And I don't know if you saw one of my videos on Instagram the other day, but I said I'm going to run for mayor. So I hope you two vote for me first.
I'll
I'll
vote for
make sure the
you.
roads are good.
Yeah.
No, but I only want a 2-year term. I'm going to clean the messes, and I want to I don't have any more than 2 years in me, but I'll take a 2-year term. Go back to Chris.
Sold. Done.
Okay.
Where do I sign?
I saw that video. That was awesome. You know what? I wanted to see more Ian. Ian was in the corner. I was like,
Oh,
get him in the
see.
video.
You'll see Ian. I'm taking Ian to Paris with me next week, so
Really?
you'll
That's
see him
awesome.
in some of my videos.
Ian
Okay,
can be the deputy mayor.
you know who's the
He's the
deputy?
backup.
You know who's the deputy chief technology officer at the city? Is Farsha Kajui, also a friend of ours.
Oh my
I knew that.
God. Okay.
Yeah,
But
the
now but
deputy.
your credibility is going way up. Now that I
I
know the
know.
roster, I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, Julia. So we're going to ask you a few questions about real estate. Number one is, where do you see the best value in Toronto right now? I've got my own
Good
ideas.
question.
I'm interested in seeing what you are, and I'm thinking more value as an investor instead of someone just buying as a house. Where do you see the value?
So I don't know that I can really be uber specific to that. An investment right now is that's a tricky concept, right? Things are so expensive. Rents are falling. We're having a tougher time getting tenants in. I'm working on a lease right now that has been a bit of a thorn, and it's a really great place. We're having a really tough time getting a suitable tenant. So when you have to almost qualify what investment means.
Yeah.
And I think, just to kind of scale back is when you're going into becoming a landlord, for example, you need to have a fulsome understanding of what that actually means. And so you buy a place, let's say you have to put some money into it. The cost of labor is very high. There are not a lot of people who are able to kind of undertake some of that project work themselves. So you hire somebody, and then you have to carry a mortgage for several months, and then you have to post it on, let's say you go with an agent, you post it on MLS, you're waiting for a tenant. That tenant may have 2 months before they can move in. So are you able to carry the costs that go along with this? And I think that sometimes people go into it thinking it's going to be so quick. It's going to be, something I can turn around in a quick time period. And that's simply not always the case. I think sometimes it is, and sometimes it can be like it kind of the steps align and it's a beautiful thing. And then other times it's a lot more cumbersome a process. So I
You
think,
know,
determining if you're a suitable person to make this investment is really a first step that a lot of people don't consider.
okay, I love that answer. And by the way, it's a lot easier to look at someone who's pretty than your face, Chris. But number two, but give me one spot where you think if you had your own money and you were going out to buy something, give me one
There's a lot of areas I really love. I love, me, I love the West End. Okay.
yeah.
I love Alderwood. I love Mimico.
So I
I
agree with you.
love,
I think Alderwood is a real gem.
I
It
think
is
it's
it's
amazing.
yeah, I agree with you.
You're on the go line. You've got a ton of amenities. You
Huge
have parks.
lots.
You've got good schools for your kids if you have a family. You know, I like Rockcliffe Smythe. I think there's really nice pockets up through there. I even like my in-laws are at like Dufferin and Eglinton area. If the crosstown ever opens, I think that's going to be a banging place to live.
Isn't it funny how we were all looking at these areas that years ago we would have never looked at? Now we're thinking that's pretty
100%.
cool. It's so cool to
Yeah.
live there in Toronto. It'd be cool to live there instead of one of these old neighborhoods where it's kind of stuffy. It'd
You
be
know what?
cool
I
to,
love a stuffy neighborhood. Never
yeah.
you mind. I love a stuffy neighborhood.
Oh
I'm
well,
a
you're
stuffy
so
gal.
fancy.
It's okay. I love a
You're
fancy
fancy. But you're
something. But
fancy.
no, but the truth is these are affordable pockets, and they're affordable pockets for a lot of different types of, you know, whether it's an investor or a family starting out or a downsizer. We have built up enough in these neighborhoods. Listen, it wasn't that appealing years ago because there was nothing around it.
Yeah.
So people would look at it and they'd be like, oh God, why do I want to live here? And it was mixed use, right? Especially down in Milko, there was a lot of like, maybe you have a mechanic in your backyard or you have like a kind of commercial plant or something. That's not desirable. It's still not desirable, but people have to look at it with a lens of practicality.
Yeah.
What can I
I agree with
afford?
you.
Do I either want to pay rent, which rent is, despite having, you know, the rents kind of going down, there's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
So do I want to do that, or can I afford to build some equity? And I think building equity is still highly possible, even in an expensive market. You just have to understand that real estate is no longer a quick game. If you're not making a longer term investment, you are not recouping those costs. That's just how it is.
And I agree with you 100%. So I've always looked at it as a long-term thing, and that's why I think, you know, I've been a realtor since I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I've seen the markets, you know, in '95 when I couldn't sell a house on you know, for $120,000. It didn't move. It was a very similar market when I got into it.
Yep.
And I think that you're right. It's a long-term gain, like everything, especially real estate. It's my favorite investment. And I think that you know, where I see value just personally is, I think, you know, these one bedroom plus dens that have just skyrocketed around the city are completely dead. People can't, like you say, pay the rents that, you know,
No.
are you know, they bought for, let's say, 800,000. These things are going for 6, and you can't fill them up for $3,800 anymore a month. Now you're only getting $3,000, which really sinks you under that that, you know, that your monthly and the carrying costs. So I see a lot of value in the one bedrooms, the smaller ones, where you could probably, as an investor, grab 2 of them at like 500 grand or 600
Yep.
grand a piece
Yeah.
and make something out of it. So I'm like you, I do see a long-term value in real estate. And I think some of those pockets that you said, you know, it's funny. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said, well, what do you want to buy? It's a friend of mine. He has a one child, and they have a 700 unit. And he said, well, you know, shockingly, you know, the places that were going for 1.5, because he wants to upsize. He's got a second child coming. He says some of them are going for one. You know,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
It
Having
is.
said that, of course, your rates went up for a few years. Now they seem to have settled and come back down. So I really see these next 2 years as, if you have a few bucks, put it into the real estate market. You know, gold is a little too high right now. It's
Gold is
bubbling.
high. Yeah, don't buy any jewelry. I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But you know what? Buy a condo. Like I have
A
told
condo.
anybody I can, buy a condo. Even
I
for
agree.
us, like I would love to buy a condo and hang on to it for my children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they are old enough, I would never buy something under a 2 bedroom. And I'll tell you why. You can, in a 2 bedroom, you have so much choice, right? So my kids are boys, they can live together. Great, roommates. Or you can be in there with your wife, you have one small baby. Okay, great. Or you can have like, you know, you don't, it opens it up to more tenants than a single person or just a couple. You can have roommates, you can like it's just more diverse. But I'd love to have something to just pass on to the kids. And then you say, okay, in 15 years or whenever they're ready to move out, or maybe never because they're never leaving. You know, but you have something and you hang on to it with the plan to hang on to it. But I also need to understand that can I carry this?
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
And you know
Chris,
what? You know what I was, because I was just looking at the market too, on and off, I always do. The one thing about condos is like, even if you go just north, right? If you're just north
hello?
of Highway 7 and all that, right?
Hmm.
Like you're seeing condos for some of them, like you said, for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom for like $500,000 or under $500,000. I saw
Oh
one for
yeah,
399. I was
you're
like,
selling them in the fours, in the 400s.
right?
Yep.
I'm like, that's a great investment right now if you can swing it and you can carry it while we're
Yep.
getting through this.
Yep.
That's a really, really, really good investment for because I just like to look and see what's out there and be like, oh, I wonder could we could we swing that
Yeah.
investment? Like,
Can you
you
do
know,
it? And here's the
yeah.
thing too, is like buy a unit that has a parking spot because all these brand new builds that
Yes.
nobody's living in anyway, they have bicycle parking. You know the weather that we've been having? Nobody's riding their bike.
No.
The sidewalk is not clear, but the bike lane is clear. So people are having to walk in the bike lane. But
True.
like we have vehicles here. This is just how it is. Buy a unit that has a spot. And then if you don't need it, you rent it out. And there's
100%.
something you offset your rent. You don't need your locker, rent it. They are always looking for this stuff.
Yes.
There are opportunities in making a little extra if you need to make up the sum, right?
It's true. It's true. And I love what Frankie said about what people are looking like, like because I always keep abreast of the market as we all do. Even though I'm not in that business, I'm in the media business and you got to know things. I so many houses are now almost at 2019 levels,
Yeah.
right? And which is okay, like as long as you didn't buy at 2020 levels. Like,
which
Well,
which
and there
which I
are people who have done that, and now we're kind of seeing the circle back. And that's okay too. And like, I say this often to people, and I really truly mean it. The interest rates are not always what's driving the activity. Your life is driving your activity. Are
yes.
you getting a promotion? Have you gotten married? Did you have a baby? Was there a death in the
Yeah.
family? Are you sick? Is there a new job elsewhere? Those are the things that are going to influence the change. It's not always, oh, gee, the mortgage rates. Yeah, okay.
Thanks for
Most people can
listening,
make it work
everyone. We
one way or the
appreciate
other.
you
There's a
spending some
solution for
time with us,
absolutely everything.
and we'll see you
It's
again. Don't
just
forget,
your
we're
life is
everywhere.
determining what the
Spotify,
needs
Apple
actually
Pods,
are. And I
wherever you
think
get
it's
your podcasts,
important
you
to
should be
kind
able to
of
find us.
take a step
Untamed
back
with
from the
Crystal and Super
media and
Frankie.
to
Check
properly
it
pay
out and
attention
tell
to
your
what do you
friends.
need for you.
Yes.
Make it
Yes.
thoughtful, and I think people forget about doing that sometimes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's all about what you need. And also, if you bought in at a time where things were a bit higher and you spent a little more, try to do your best to hang on to it if you
Try
can.
to hang on. Yeah, 100%.
Like because
Julia,
eventually you will get your money back. You will get more,
Totally.
right? It will go up, but you might have to just be in a more like you said in the beginning, make it a long-term investment rather than some of these short-term
Couple
investments,
years. Yeah.
right?
Julia, when you make a client presentation, um, I have to say, I've said this about you many times. You've got a lovely Eastern European accent that you can put on. Now,
Stop.
do you
No
find
way.
no?
No way am I doing that. No.
can can do you
There's
think it works
no
better?
just so everybody knows, I am of Eastern European descent, so this is not Frank. It's wanted.
No,
No,
I
that
just
only
think
comes out at the party. And it's too early for a drink, so I'm afraid not. If had you invited me to the Royal York Hotel, maybe this would be a totally different conversation. But here I am at
well,
home.
listen, you are always welcome here. I am actually just enjoying when you come to a party and you throw that accent on. I'm actually just walking around because my good friend, you guys know him when we were kids, he was really popular. He was a singer, Snow. Darren is here to meet me, but I just don't know where he is. He comes around 11:30, so I'll throw him on the podcast for a minute when he shows up. I could never find this guy here. But sorry, back to real estate, Julia. So, what do you have any hot listings out right now?
Well, I'm coming out with a condo next week. It's a
Hmm.
it's a really nice place. It's at 401 and Keel.
Oh,
It's in a boutique building, small building, great amenities. They've got really low maintenance fees, which is also something that we
that's
see on
good.
the rise all the time. It is just over 700 square feet. It's 1+1.
Hmm.
But these guys had a toddler in it.
Yep.
So, definitely manageable, great open floor plan. So that's going to be coming to market next. I'm hoping Thursday or Friday.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
my mom has a 1+1. She bought in early down on Fleet Street
beautiful,
when they built those. So yeah,
fantastic.
they're great. I love those. I love those little buildings, and they got all the amenities you need.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're great.
But it's also like you're in a great spot where, if you want to get downtown or you want to do this, you
Yeah,
just need something like anywhere that you are in Toronto, we now have the ability to get kind of anywhere. So
yeah,
it depends like, do you want to walk to work? Do you want to I don't love the subway myself, but like is it nice to have that if you
yeah.
need it? Absolutely. Go train, whatever it is. It just has to be appealing for you. And so with this condo, a colleague of mine was like, condo unit. I said, listen, we are going to make it look as great as possible.
Yeah.
Number one, I really believe in putting money into listings. I'm not going to half-ass this. And I also feel like there is a buyer out there for absolutely everything. And
100%.
somebody is going to really love this location. And that's going to be that. So I go into it with like extreme positivity. And stuff is like we are transacting these
Yeah.
days. Like I've had two
Good.
deals close in January. So, it's not, things are still moving. It's just
Julia,
some stuff is surprising.
I
Yeah.
have a newsletter that goes out every Saturday morning if you
I've
want.
seen your newsletter. I'm a subscriber to your newsletter.
So I'd be happy to put your listing in there this weekend or whenever you
Thank
want.
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
I have
But you
quite a
got to
big.
get it in today. You
I
got to
can't
get
though. I'm getting it staged on Tuesday.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
then
You can
next
get it
week.
next week. And Chris
Okay.
also writes in the newsletter on the sports side. We have some, different people who join in, and a lot of people want to be part of it. I really like to grow this thing out. You know me. I'm always happy when my friends are doing well, and
I love that.
I know lots of people in the city. We get a readership of about 9,000 people, and an open rate of about 3,000 a week. So quite a lot of people, and I know lots of very big business owners. So I'd say my newsletter is probably the best one in the city when it comes to who reads it. You've got the who's who of the city reading my newsletter, CEOs of some of the biggest companies. So if you ever have a listing that you want to, uh, present or something, I'm happy if you throw it in my newsletter. Now, I am looking for this guy, and let's ask Snow. I think he lives on the Esplanade. I think you guys know the Esplanade. But Julia, I have one more question. If you had, let's say, two kids, what city in Canada would you be most bullish on based on kids' livability, or where they would have access to things, or where they would be,
Well,
be able to live a great life, and
that's a
take.
loaded question though, right?
Yes, you're
Because
right. It's personal
yeah,
preference, but that's why I'm asking you what
I
yours
think,
is.
I think that that question is a tough one because there's so many different individual needs for different families. So when I look at what my family needs a great soccer community. My kids are heavily involved in soccer.
Oh, why aren't you guys in Woodbridge then?
Because we're with the Etobicoke, bro.
Why aren't you in Woodbridge? I love it.
I don't think I'm the parent for Woodbridge. I
Okay.
don't think I'm a really nice soccer mom. I say hi to everybody. I try to be like, and I don't like mean stuff. I
You're
like
saying the
nice stuff.
Woodbridge moms are
He's
mean?
saying
Oh,
the Woodbridge.
this could be bad here. This could be bad.
No, I'm not saying the Woodbridge moms. I'm saying some of the
No.
parents are
Yeah, they're
like,
intense.
listen, your kid's not going pro. Sorry, but
Yes,
like
they're intense.
my kids are in soccer for like discipline and understanding how to be part of a team
Yeah,
and
social.
being resilient and
Yeah.
like the exercise is phenomenal, but I'm not there because I think we've got the next Messi living in the house. Like, give me a break.
Well,
Hey,
it's
And
so
don't
some of
sell
these
funny.
your kids
parents, I'm like,
short.
I don't know who you think your kid is, but
It's
I
so it's so
Julia,
funny.
don't sell your kids short. You never know.
You never know.
You never
But
know, but you know what? I just said to them, I said, despite your dreams of being a soccer star, which is wonderful,
Yes.
you really need to use your brains. So
no,
what
no,
else will you do?
it's so funny you say that, because we had a game with Oscar last week, and it was against the Woodbridge team. They came down to Toronto, and like a fight almost broke out amongst the parents.
Yes,
And we were like, we've never seen this, right?
yes.
Where's Oscar playing?
He's Toronto FC, but like he's having fun out there. He thinks he's messy, but he's clearly not messy. But the one of the dads was gonna kill the referee, and the referee starts going, "Hey, like
But
don't
that's
you
the
really?"
problem. But that's the problem is like you are showing your lack of control. Like that to me is like the worst part of it. Like, never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, there's gonna be a bad ref, but I say to the kids all the time, I'm like, listen, you're gonna have a bad boss. You
Oh
can't mouth
yeah,
off to them too. So
yeah,
like, figure yourself out and
yeah.
model yourself so that your kids feel proud of you. Like, this behavior I can't. So I mean, I've always lived in Toronto. I love Toronto. Getting back to your question, I love Vancouver, but having said that, I would never move somewhere where I haven't visited. And I also would do a trial period. But if I'm going to move, it's not in Canada.
No,
I
No,
would leave Canada and I would move to Europe 100%.
I like it.
So I just don't know that question isn't like super appealing to me because if I'm moving, it's it's not here.
So you're either living in Toronto or you're moving to Europe. I like it.
Yeah, man, because all my life is here. So if I'm going to uproot myself, it's got to be for something that is so much better. And here I feel disappointed by the possibilities sometimes.
okay, so you're not moving to Glasgow where your best friend lives or Scotland.
The
You'll have a
weather is not good for me there. No, I like their way of life so much and my besties there, but I think I would be so depressed. Nobody would want to be around me.
okay. You don't want to go to Italy because there's nothing happening there. Like there's no work. So where else?
Well, there's some work, but I mean, it's more like I
In
want to go somewhere.
Milan's one city where there's work.
But I want to go somewhere where it's like the sun is shining, it's blue
Yeah.
sky, people are happy, they want to have like a healthy lifestyle, they are, they spend time with their friends. Whereas in North America, I think it's like work, 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 work. And then you're like, oh, but I'm sick. And they're like, it's okay, work some more. And
Yeah.
I don't love that. I think we're slowly killing ourselves with, disappointment
Do you know
and
where
the lack of joy.
do you know where I would move
Tell me.
if I didn't move to Italy? And the only reason I moved to Italy is because family there. I would move to Poland.
I've
Poland
never been
is
to Poland, you
Pol-
see?
Poland is killing it. No, and this is based on just like I haven't been there yet. Like I want to go, but this is just based on the economy, the country.
It's
It's
definitely having its day. It's
yeah,
definitely
it's
having its day. But
yeah,
listen, Chris. I've been many times. Like it definitely doesn't have those ticks that Julia wants, like the sunny, the
yeah.
happy.
No, it
It's
doesn't have
definitely
that.
it's definitely got it having its day in terms of the economy and technology and some of the great IT
Yes.
stuff there. And the infrastructure is great. It's very safe. There's a lot of good things about it. And I'm a proud Polak, and I think it's a wonderful place. And I'm so happy it's having its day. But even me, I wouldn't live there, Chris. I'm telling you, you wouldn't love it. Well, you might because you like the soccer. Listen, there's some good cities. There's no question. But if you're looking for sunshine, great weather, you know, not Poland.
It's not Poland, but where am I gonna go? Tell me, where should I go? You tell me, like, where are you moving? That's like, let's turn
I,
this around.
I'm not moving anywhere. I think when Bree and I get a little older, we'll probably bounce around. Obviously, we have an apartment in Paris and one in
Yeah.
Miami, so like 3-4 months each place, and then probably back to Toronto or wherever the kids are. And a lot of people like Barcelona. A lot of people like cities like if you want a bigger city with some sun, certainly Barcelona. I
Yeah,
think
I
that
like
another
Barcelona. I just can't see myself living there. I don't
Me
know.
neither. Me neither. I have a few friends that bought apartments there. They love it, but I can't see myself living there. Listen. I love Paris, and I think Paris has really nice weather 6 months of the year, and
Yeah.
then it's kind of gray-ish, like London. But if I was going to go to Europe, that's an interesting question. I'd probably just be in Paris. I love Paris. I'm going on Wednesday and I love Paris. I think it's the most fun city. I'm in the Royal York Hotel right now, and if you went to Paris, this vibe, this cozy, sexy vibe of this Royal York. I mean, they probably got 40 hotels like this, so you could just go every day, have a coffee, feel like you're in luxury every day for $20, and just a wonderful city from that standpoint.
I
If
love a
that's
luxury for $20.
Yeah, just have a cocktail and then you feel and that's what I do. I go and I go see my friends and I go to shows and there's no city in the world that gives you that much from that standpoint. If you like a bit of culture and that kind of
Yeah.
sexy vibe. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for good weather, that's a tough one because
I'm looking for good weather. I feel like really at my best in the summer. I do.
listen,
I
I
love
find out
suntan.
I know you don't want to throw it out there because everybody's kind of scared to say they love the U.S. right now. But listen, I love Miami. Who's kidding you? I
I
love
love
it.
California. Honestly, like if you'd asked me 10 years ago, would I have moved to San Diego? It would be a resounding yes. I loved it there.
I
And
agree with you.
I think it's beautiful. I really, really loved it there. And we had an opportunity to move there, but unfortunately my parents were not well, so it wasn't going to work out. But I think it's got a really great mix of things that I love. But yeah, I
Chris,
don't know.
I'm happy. Chris, I'm happy to take you one day to Poland, by the way, and I'll show you, and then you'll decide.
I love it. I would 100% go. I would 100.
Isn't your wife Polish? Didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, her dad was from Poland, and her mom was a maritimer.
Okay. Okay.
Big boy.
So,
Okay, guys,
yeah.
just say
Okay,
hi to
we've only
my
got
podcast. Well, no, stay 1 second.
we've got
Just
like 2 minutes left.
my good
Say
friend.
hi. He's gone.
I know he's frozen.
And Darren, say hi, boys.
Hi.
This is Julia. This is
Hi.
Julia
Hello.
and Chris so cutesy. We're talking real estate. Can I hear you guys?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
What? No?
Yes, we can.
All right. You can't hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Darren, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
If you're going to invest in Toronto, where do you think the best upcoming neighborhood is for real estate?
Allenbury Gardens.
Allenbury Gardens, baby. It's where he's
There you
from.
go.
Housing project, my favorite mall. Best property.
We were just talking about this. Where are the new like up and coming spots? And I bet that's not on Julia's list, but
You know what?
Mills and Shepherd's, favorite mall.
But I'm open
Region.
to so many areas. Yeah.
No, listen, they're all changing. Tridell's doing so much with some of these communities, really lifting them up. We've got good friends, A.J. Delzato and the Tridell family, so they're good friends with King West. King West is amazing, but I feel like it's already popped. But Allenbury,
Yeah.
Blue West, the best. That's where we grew up. The three of us are from Blue West Village.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love.
All right, guys. Good day. Have a good day. We
Yeah.
love you.
Thank you, Frank. Nice
Bye,
to
guys.
meet you.
Guys. Ciao. Thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you spending some time with us, and we'll see you again. Don't forget, we're everywhere. Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Untamed with Chris O and Super Frankie. Check it out and tell your friends.